Hello, welcome to the Maya Toolbelt. This is Michael McKinley. Today we're going to talk about the bridge command. Bridge is pretty useful. I'll just demonstrate it really quickly by creating two cubes. And I'll combine the two. Going to mesh, combine, makes them one object. I'll select these two faces, edit mesh, bridge, right here. And you can see that it connects the two together. It even gives me a bunch of subdivisions if I want them. And so it's a really easy way to, if you have two separate objects and you want to bridge them together with a surface, the bridge command is perfect. Now the bridge command has lots of different options, and we're going to go through each one. This is just the default settings here. This is what it gives you. And if default works fine for you, if this is all you're looking for, but you want less subdivisions, it's very easy to fix that over here in the inputs under Poly Bridge, Edge 1 in my case. Click that to open up the options here, and you have divisions. And by selecting the division's name here, highlight it in blue in my case, middle click and drag out in my scene, and I can increase or decrease the subdivisions however much I want. Take it down to 0 and you have my original cubes with just one straight surface between the two. And that's a very basic use of bridge. Let's go into a couple of the options and you can kind of see a bit more on how you might want to use this. So I'll just delete all this stuff. So I'm going to create a cylinder under Create Polygons Cylinder. And I'll just make a really quick one. Under the poly cylinder inputs here, I'm going to change my options a bit. Get rid of the caps, subdivisions, decrease the axis subdivisions down so it's not quite so dense, just so it's easy to see. And then I rotate this 90 degrees, like so. I'm going to duplicate it, rotate it again, and I'm going to position it right here. Now, this is the case I'm going to present. Let's say I want to create a bend between these two straight surfaces. So I want these two to be connected, but not just a straight line. I want them to actually bend around and blend together as if it's been a bent pole or something along those lines. The bridge command is still something you can use for this. I'm going to select both of these cylinders, go to Mesh, Combine to make them one object. I'll select this face, Shift, select that face. Under Edit Mesh, Bridge. First I'll show you, this is the default. By default, this is what I'll get with the default settings, which this is not what I want, even with the divisions down. It's just a straight line. I want this nice smooth bend between the two. So I'll undo that. Both faces are selected still. Go to Edit Mesh, Bridge, Options. This little cube here, or square I should say. In bridge type, we have three different types. Linear path is the default one. Let's try smooth path bridge. That looks much nicer. So with the smooth path option, you have this nice rounded blend between the two faces that you had selected. If I go back to my inputs here, you have some other options also that you can affect the shape. This is twist. Undo that. And taper. You can kind of make it, give it an Xbox inhale if you'd like. Or exhale. And of course divisions, where you can change the smoothness. Now you'll see as I increase this, I start to lose my shader, which that's not a big deal. I just need to reapply it. If I right click and just select Add Existing Material, Assign Existing Material I should say, and this is just the default Lambert. It'll just kind of reset the material and reapply it to all those faces so that we don't lose the material there. So really quick and easily, we use the bridge command. I got a nice smooth transition between these two. So if I wanted to create, for example, a stairway railing, it's very easy to create the straight bits with the cylinders and then use the bridge command to connect them together. And they have this nice smooth transition. Let me undo all that so I get back to my original. There we go. Edit mesh, bridge, options. There was this other option down here. There's smooth path and smooth path plus curve. Let's try that one. Smooth path plus curve, bridge. Same result. If I press 4 and go into my wireframe, you'll see there's actually a small curve inside here. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. I have it selected now. There's this nice curve that's been created between the two faces, and it's controlling the curvature of the surface that the bridge command created. If I right click with the curve selected out in space, right click and choose control vertex, I have these points that are associated with that curve that I can move. So you see with the smooth path plus curve option, you can get even more control over just exactly how this transition occurs. Let's say I want it to be more like this. Kind of, instead of it being a very smooth transition, you can have this kind of bulbous effect. But yet it still keeps the geometry transitions very efficient and smooth. You're not having to fight with it. And if you've ever tried to do this kind of effect any other way, such as using the extrude face, just extruding, rotate, move, extrude, rotate, move, extrude, rotate, move, it can get kind of convoluted, plus it's just time consuming. So that is Edit Mesh Bridge. Join us next time in the Maya Toolbelt and we'll go over a different tool, different command. Hopefully you'll learn something. And this is Michael McKinley signing off.